You are inside America's election headquarters now. Conservative leaders in Texas backing Rick Santorum this weekend in a tie-breaking third ballot over Newt Gingrich. They say Santorum is the best candidate able to beat President Obama in November. But take a look at this. Real Clear Politics average. Gingrich still has a lead over Santorum in the South Carolina polls. Can Santorum close the gap in the 6 days left before the primary? Joining us now for a fair and balanced debate, Ford OConnell is chairman of the Civic Forum PAC and former director for rural outreach for John McCain's presidential campaign. And Christy Setzer joins us, president of New Heights Communications, former spokesperson for Vermont Governor Howard Dean. Good to see you both. Ford,
thank you for having us.
Yeah, Ford, let me start with you. Santorum got 84 out of 114 votes, third ballot, supermajority. And listen, the backing of Christian leaders is nothing to sneeze at in a state like South Carolina. So how much does this help Rick Santorum? And equally important, does it hurt Gingrich and to a lesser extent Perry?
Well, I mean, I think the endorsement certainly helps Santorum, but I think it's too much too late. I mean, the evangelical vote in South Carolina is going to be highly important, but right now you've got Perry, Gingrich, and Santorum basically splitting the conservative vote. And until that ceases, Mitt Romney's probably going to walk right through South Carolina.
Christy, some conservative leaders who had been backing Newt Gingrich changed their votes to support Santorum, reportedly because they felt that he and not Gingrich had a better ability to beat President Obama. What about that? Would Santorum be less polarizing than Gingrich in a general election? And would Romney be the bigger threat to President Obama?
Well, I think there's a couple things to consider. One is that evangelicals are just like the rest of us. Yes, they vote on social issues, but they also vote on the economy. They vote on electability. So it's going to be a helpful endorsement, but it's not going to mean everything. And the other piece is that I think there's a bit of a gun shyness with evangelicals voting for Santorum en masse because, frankly, they have a bit of a self-esteem issue. I think they don't quite believe that Santorum can actually be a credible general election candidate, despite the fact that obviously he did very well in Iowa and seems to be shoring up support in South Carolina as well.
Ford, Gingrich vowed not to go negative, seems to have changed. Last night at the Huckabee Forum, in fact, he got booed by the audience when he criticized Romney's business record, or tried to at least. And former South Carolina Governor Mark Sanford, I was talking to him yesterday, and he said, look, Gingrich is suffering a serious backlash in South Carolina over these ads run by the pro-Gingrich super PAC. You agree, blowback for Gingrich?
Well, I mean, the latest Reuters online poll indicates that they are hurting Newt Gingrich, and one of the reasons is people see these ads as being anti-free enterprise, and that's really the cornerstone of conservative ideology. So if Gingrich wants to make greater improvement in South Carolina, he's going to have to either pull the ads or make a more focus towards Mitt Romney, because attacking free enterprise is just not a winner in South Carolina.
You know, Christy, three major newspapers, the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, the Washington Post, they all examined the pro-Gingrich super PAC ad, which is running nonstop in South Carolina, and all three concluded that it's riddled with inaccuracies, distortions, omissions, if not outright lies about Mitt Romney and his business record. But you know what? Voters may not know that. They may not learn that. They may not feel that way about it, having seen the ads. So are all of these, you're a Democrat, are all of these GOP intra-party negative attacks only helping President Obama?
Yes, yes, they are. You know, for one thing, as you just said, they may be riddled with inaccuracies, but negative ads in general work. That's why there's so many negative ads happening in South Carolina right now. And yeah, I think the bigger issue with the bigger problem that people have with Gingrich making these attacks on Romney is that the idea is that Republicans are the ones who are laying the groundwork for Democrats to make the same attacks against Romney in the fall, assuming that he is, in fact, the general election candidate. So I think that is the issue that they have. Less so than the attacks on free enterprise.
And, you know, Ford, I mean, it's not just Newt Gingrich that is leveling these attacks. Rick Perry, he keeps calling Romney a vulture capitalist because Romney ran a venture capital firm, a successful one. And that prompted a South Carolina ex-party official to ask, and I'm quoting here, what don't they like about capitalism, referring to Gingrich and Rick Perry. I mean, isn't this the same kind of assault on free market capitalism that Republicans accused President Obama of waging?
It is, but I do have to say that some of these attacks on Mitt Romney's record are attacks that he's going to see in the general election. In a lot of ways, his opponents in the Republican primary are toughening him up. If Mitt Romney has one weakness right now, it comes to rapid response messaging. He's been a little flat-footed, and to be perfectly honest, the attacks that these guys are running are really going to be a heck of a lot softer than the attacks that President Obama's going to run in the general election should Romney win the nomination. So Romney really has to find a way to get his inner voice out there and be on message. If he can do that and he can win South Carolina and Florida, he's going to become the presumptive Republican nominee.
Well, you two always have good insight, and I appreciate your being with us today. Christy Setzer, Ford OConnell, thanks so much.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Greg.